Charles S. Johnson is the president of the Southern Regional Council, and this organization, Charles, why don't you first explain what the Southern Regional Council is all about?
Well, the Southern Regional Council began in 1919 in response to the racial violence that was occurring in that year, which was probably the high watermark of racial violence in the country. Southern Regional Council began as a commission for interracial cooperation designed to bring people together to try to address the racial violence and change the attitude toward blacks in the South. In 1944, it became the Southern Regional Council and became a research and advocacy organization. It was kind of the think tank of the civil rights movement.
You've been doing a lot, and today we were here, the Lillian Smith Awards, and this is very special. Tell everyone about Lillian Smith and the awards.
Well, imagine a time, and I'm talking about the 40s and 50s, when we were living in an environment of separate but equal, Jim Crow. If you were progressive, if you were moderately progressive, then you were talking about making sure that separate was also equal. You weren't even thinking about desegregation. The exception in the white community was people like Lillian Smith. Lillian Smith said, forget just trying to make everything equal. Let's do away with discrimination altogether, break down all the barriers. And she was out really ahead of the Southern Regional Council on that and ahead of the rest of the South altogether. She died in 1966, and right after that, the Southern Regional Council decided to honor her with an award designed to honor books every year that represent the best tradition of advocating for social change in the South.
I tell you, this year's awards was very special. I mean, each year, and if you look, I think since 1966, 1968,
We started in 68.
that you've been honoring authors, and this year's no different. Great authors.
We had two great authors. Charles Eagles did a book on James Meredith, the integration of the University of Mississippi. Amy Louise Wood did a book on lynching and spectacle, the whole notion of not just about lynching, but about how lynching fit into the culture of the United States. And it was just a fascinating work that both of these historians did.
And it was a packed house, and that's refreshing to see. I mean, we saw of all ethnicities, we more whites in the audience, more Caucasians in the audience, but still a lot of people interested in not rehashing, but knowing where we came from, and it helps us get where we're going.
Well, that's right. I mean, there are, it's people of all faiths, people of all backgrounds are interested in, what brought us to where we are today. They're interested in being in the cutting edge of change, and they're sympathetic to the cutting edge that was, and trying to take us to the next level. And so we found that in the crowds that we've drawn to this event every year.
And the Southern Regional Council, I mean, you also Black Brown Initiative. I mean, there's a number of things that you work on, and I got to put it out there that you're kind of special, Charles, because your lineage is something else. I mean, it's not just by happenstance that you're leading this great organization.
Well, when the Southern Regional Council was created out of the ashes of the Commission on Interracial Cooperation, the first president was Charles S. Johnson, who was my grandfather, who was also head of the Division of Social Sciences at Fisk University and became president of Fisk shortly after that. And so when people came to me several years ago and asked me to get involved in this organization, I couldn't say no.
Well, we're glad to have you on board. And for people, if people want more information about the Southern Regional Council, want to get involved, what do they need to do?
Southern Council at blogspot.org.
One more time.
Southern Changes at blogspot.com.
Last time.
Southern Changes at blogspot.com.
Thank you so much, Charles. Congratulations on another great Lillian Smith Award.
Thank you. Appreciate that.